You've met so many successful people. You've met people in all walks of life, from all walks of life, and from different areas of the country as well. What do you think is a common thing that most successful people have that makes them successful?
Ooh, one, you don't stop. You gotta be consistent. You might be working at doing something and it might flop. It may not get the response you want. Just keep doing it no matter what, because it'll grow. Two, I will say this, and I've like a lot of different, interns that I've had and assistants, I always tell them, like, what's going to save your ass a lot of the time is learn how to read the room. Like, you got to learn how to read the room. You got to know when to ask something, when not to ask something, when it's a good time, when it's not. A lot of times people will ask for something at the most inconvenient time and they don't know how to read the room. And that's what really kind of set them back. You know what I mean? I always tell them, learn how to read the room. If you can learn how to read the room, you'll figure it out. But be very consistent. If things don't grow as it should, learn from it and make it bigger and make it better, and just keep doing it no matter what. And figure out a way to learn every single day. Figure out a way. It's funny, I have a personal story. So I was watching this documentary on Netflix. It's with Bill Gates. It's AI. And my fiance was like, are you into AI? And I was like, no, but I need to learn because they might take my job. So I need to figure this shit out. I don't know anything about AI, but I'm going to learn about it. So I'm always willing to learn and to figure out different ways. And I always try different things.
I love to hear this from you, because I speak to high school students all the time. I go to the schools and speak. And these are the same things that I tell them about being success. And I want them to hear it from other people. So it's not just Big Brother Will.
No, and really just have the confidence in yourself. And understand that I hate the term haters. I hate that. People be like, oh, you have your haters, They don't hate you. Because to hate somebody, like for me, if I hate you, you got to do something to my family. You got to do something to me for me to hate you. So they don't hate you, they envy you. So they're envious and they don't know how to do what you're doing, so it's frustration for them. You know what I mean?
It's really love. They just turned it back internal.
Right. So I tell people that, I'm like, don't worry about the negative responses that you get, because a lot of times when it's your vision, it's just what that is. It's your vision. People don't understand it sometimes. You can explain it. You'll be like, how come these people aren't supporting me? How come they're not jumping on board? They don't understand your vision. And then what happens is when you do something and they see it, then you hear, oh, now everybody wants to help. Now everybody wants to participate because they saw your vision. They understood it now. So I've learned that a long time ago, where I don't get, and I think that's helped me. I don't take it personal.
I think that's a good point. I want to stop there on that point. Taking your emotions out of doing business.
Right.
How important is that?
So important. It's what's really going to keep you afloat. You got to leave the emotions behind, and that's what we always say. It's not emotions, it's about facts. And when I'm doing an event, I've had an event and I've literally still to this day had events where certain people didn't show up and I'm like, y'all didn't support me. But then what I realized is they didn't really get it. They didn't understand it. And now that they see it, now guess what? They understand it. They get it. And now they want to help, and I will still get them involved, because all it is just a growing family. So I'm very aware of things like that, and I always tell my nieces and stuff, if it's your vision, they're not gonna know it until you build it. Build it, and they will come.
The most important things, I think, are leverage and proof of concept.
Right.
When you have leverage, then things change, and when you have proof of concept, you can get leverage, right?
And it's so funny, I did an event in Oakland recently, and there was one night that we did something really dope, and it was awesome, and then they had me come the next day to this like a little fair, and it was a little bit of a flop. And the girl was like, oh my God, because it didn't turn out the way, and I was like, it's okay, it's proof of concept. You're just showing everybody what the concept is, and next year it's going to grow even bigger, but it won't grow if you stop. Keep doing it. Don't get disappointed. Keep going, So things like that, I still take it, and I still will be like, this could be such a great concept. Like, don't stop, because I see the vision. There's certain people that I've done, concerts, and it's maybe not as successful as they thought it would be. And I'm like, it's okay. I see your vision. I see what you're doing, and what you're doing is going to be freaking huge. Just keep going. You know what I mean? That's really what it is all about.
Can you give people advice on taking opportunities when money isn't attached to it? Because being an intern for a year is no joke. That's a year of full-time work. Can you teach people about sometimes the opportunity doesn't have a paycheck attached to it, but it's going to get you to the next step?
And sometimes you got to invest in yourself. There's a lot of people, and I understand it, where they won't do it unless it's paid. But there's some things that you gotta do if you don't have the contacts. I've done a lot to get my foot through the door. Now I know my worth. Now I've worked so hard, but I've earned it. You gotta earn that situation. So when people come in and they don't have a huge resume and they don't want to do anything for free, or put in their time, then it's like, well, your passion's not here. Your passion's here. And for this, it's not really this, because you're gonna have to do a lot of work in the entertainment industry before you start seeing the benefits of it. So you really just have to be passionate about what you're doing. But why wouldn't you want to be, like, whatever it is you're doing, don't you want to be passionate about it? Who wants to be doing something that they completely hate? So I say, if it's a great opportunity, weigh it out. Will this help me? Will I be able to pull some contacts? Will I be able to pull a gig out of this? There will be certain gigs, like I've done some political gigs that, I've had to, like, weigh my fee. And I'm like, and I'm not a political person, but I'm like, I'm not doing too much political, just hosting and introducing some stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bite my tongue, because I need to get in that room full of all those people. And I will leave with 5 paying gigs.
There you go.
People be like, oh my God, you were awesome. You're this and that. So I weigh the options. That one free gig that I gave them, I just walked out with 5 big paying gigs. It was worth it for me. Yeah, because now I'm going to keep doing it, and now this is longevity, and the people hire me over and over again. So I do weigh out my options. When I started out, I would do it. Now I'm blessed enough where I don't have to do that so much. But I get it, and I understand, like, it's a sticky situation, but if you can do it, take the opportunity, because they don't come very often.
And how important is relationships?
Very important. Very important. I tend not to get involved in the industry cheeseman, the industry gossip. I'm very good about staying away from that. One thing about me is, you'll notice, anybody that knows me knows, if I go to an event, I go in there and I give you my 2 hours and I'm out. Like, I go in there and I'm like, all right, I give you a couple hours and I dip. I don't get involved in any of the he
You don't drink either, I heard.
I don't drink. I don't drink either. Yeah, so I don't make a fool out of myself. I'm not there. I'm not like, oh, Cece was wasted. No, nothing like that. Because I know that when we're at a certain level in our life, all eyes are on us.
Yes.
So I'm very conscious of that. But yeah, no, I don't drink. But I go in there and I do my thing and I network, and then I'm out. And I think that has keeping my relationships with people. I don't get involved. And so when people try, I've had promoters, oh, this promoter, I said, leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. It hasn't been doing me.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you talking about this promoter. I don't want to hear this promoter talking about you. It's not anything to do with me. I come in, I do my job.
Being successful and working in a space that you're very public for so long, how do you deal with entitlement from people that actually knew you before you became successful, or has known you for a long time?
You know what? It's
How do you deal with
crazy.
that?
There's no entitlement with the people that know me. I think the people that know me love me and they understand it. It's entitlement with people that don't know me. And so that's hard to deal with. I've recently, a few months ago, I shut off my DMs. You can message me, but you have to go through the profile. You can't go off of the Insta story. I shut it down because the entitlement with certain people that didn't even know me was, they're always asking me for money.
Yep.
So, and it's hard because I'm like, y'all, I have a mother that I take care of. Like, I need you to give me money.
And
like, I gotta pay for stuff.
It.
Yeah, and I'm working for it. Like, I gotta pay for shit, But I think that's what it is. It's not really the people in my life, and it's not my family. Believe it or not, my family is the last people to ask for anything, because they see it. They'll be with me and they'll see the entitlement of other people of what, oh, Cece, can you do this for me? Oh, Cece, I need this. And so my family has always been very aware, like, we don't want you to feel like that. You're here, you're family, you're just with us. So I don't get that from my family. I get it from strangers. And I get like, oh, my car broke down and I'm going to court, with my baby mama or something. Can you lend me $10,000 for a new car? And I'm like, bro, I don't even know you.
I get that all the time.
You know what I mean? It's the most off things. And it's like, there's no common sense sometimes nowadays. They say common sense, but not everybody has it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I kind of try to pull myself away sometimes. And people were like, oh, you shut off your comments and your DMs because the listeners will know. And they'll be like, did somebody come at you? And I'm like, no. I was like, I don't get a lot of hate. I get asked a lot of favors.
Yep.
And sometimes it's so hard for me to like be like, I
You got that
can't.
big heart. Too.
Yeah, I got a big heart.
I want to give to everybody.
But then sometimes I'm like, how do you go to somebody you don't even know and ask for money like that, bro?
Yeah, it's
like
no
it doesn't.
shame.
Yeah, nothing. That's the weirdest shit for me, at least.
Yeah, yeah.